It is 50 feet wide at the base and 400 feet wide at the top. It is truly an awesome sight as seen from the Mormon settlement of Martin's Cove. At this point I would like to spend a few moments talking about the Mormon emigrants. In many cases, the Mormons were poor farmers who were harassed by a lot of people because of their religious beliefs. This situation made it difficult for them to buy covered wagons. Instead, they made hand carts, two-wheeled wagons about 7 feet long with a box about 4 feet long, and pulled or pushed them all the way to Salt Lake City. Now, that's a lot of pulling and pushing. Today, the Mormon Handcart Center in Martins Cove, Wyoming, displays handcarts and other unique tools used by these hardy pioneers. They even run a summer camp for people, both young and old, who wish to learn firsthand about the Mormon migration and then take a 20-mile trek pulling or pushing a reproduction handcart. Well, we spent enough time here, so let's move forward. Wagons ho! Our next stop is South Pass, one of the few passes through the Continental Divide, which is a mountainous area which determines whether a stream will flow either east or west. A town called South Pass City was founded in this area. Today it is partly restored to pioneer days. It has an active general store and a soda machine typical of the region. Now, as your tour guide, I would like to take you to a place all of you have heard of, Atlantic City. I can just imagine what you are thinking. I thought we were taking a trip west, and you brought us back to New Jersey? Oh, what a letdown. The Atlantic City all of you are familiar with is big and noisy with boardwalks, casinos, restaurants, and lots of people. Today, I would like to introduce you to the other Atlantic City. It's located on an old dirt road in a sparsely populated part of Wyoming. The town sign even has some bullet holes where the locals have been taking target practice. It does have a boardwalk, if you want to consider the wooden entrance to the only store in town a boardwalk. The population is rather low, only about 57 people, and the traffic hazards here are cattle in the streets rather than automobiles. What few people I met were really friendly. They don't have too many visitors. This place is certainly a far cry from our seashore town. I've always promised my wife I would take her to Atlantic City. I have a feeling that this was not what she was expecting. It's time to get going again. Wagons ho! Our next stop is Fort Bridger, where we repair our wagons, stock up with food and supplies, and say goodbye to our friends who will be taking either the California or Mormon trails. Both trails split off from the Oregon Trail at this point. After preparing for the final leg of our adventure, with only 900 miles to go, we mount our wagons and move out toward the mountains. Wagons ho!
There's magic in the wind and a brightness in the sky. There's a promised land awaiting, and we'll get there by and by. Westward ho, the wagons always westward roll the wagons, for our guns are gold.
The final part of our trek takes us through high mountain passes and stretches of desert and badlands. As we come within 100 miles of the Willamette Valley in Oregon, our final destination, some emigrants decide to take a break from walking and instead ride with the current on the Columbia River down to Fort Vancouver. Many build rafts and tie all of their food and belongings to them and head out. Unfortunately, the river is very dangerous, and many pioneers lose their lives just a short distance from their goal. Those who do make it to Oregon City and beyond reap the benefits of free land and fertile soil. Congratulations, everyone! We all reached our destination safely. The trip that we took was repeated over and over again during the period 1840 through 1869. On May 10th, 1869, the Golden Spike ceremony took place at a remote location, Promontory, Utah. This event marked the wedding of the rails of the Union Pacific and the Central Pacific Railroads. From that point on, passengers could ride from St. Joseph, Missouri to San Francisco, California, and not experience the hardships of the trails. All three trails continued to play a role in the westward expansion movement even after 1869, but at a much reduced volume. Today, remnants of the trails are being preserved by both national and state governments. Well, it's time to return to the 21st century. Let's hop back into our time machine and set the date for the year 2008. Studying about the trails so excited me that this past summer I signed on to join a wagon train in progress in the Bridger-Teton National Forest in Wyoming. For 2 days I became a pioneer, riding and sleeping in a covered wagon, eating from a chuck wagon, and listening to Western songs around a campfire with a very friendly group of deaf people. I always knew my wagon, even in the dark, because it had the largest fresh pile of horse manure right at its doorstep. I got to meet Chief, a black and white horse who taught me why he had that name. He always wanted to be in charge. I experienced the countryside firsthand. I rode for 6 hours a day, uphill and down dale, through forests of pine and aspen and fields of sagebrush. I had a near disaster in a rapidly flowing stream when the wrangler and her horse went down in front of me while climbing the steep, muddy bank. Old sure-footed Chief saved me from the same fate by leaping over the fallen horse and rider. I just hung on for dear life and freaked out. The experience was rewarding. I made a number of new friends, got to see some beautiful scenery, and experienced pioneer life in a unique way. Our journey may be over for now, but it's not over forever. You too can experience the spirit of adventure and become a modern-day pioneer. The beauty of America awaits. I would encourage you to, if you're given the opportunity, take advantage of traveling. Visit the places of natural beauty that the United States has in abundance. Explore the sites where American history was made. So, see the USA in your Chevrolet, Model A, or by bus, plane, or train. Let the spirit of the pioneers guide and direct your travels. Because, as the song goes, this land is your land to discover and enjoy.